Could we have the choir, band, and ASL members please report to your performance areas at this time? We'd like to ask everybody to please remain standing. Please remain standing, and gentlemen, please remove your hats as we honor America. At this time, please join the Peoria High School Air Force ROTC Color Guard in the presentation of the colors and the performance of our national anthem, led by members of the PHS Encore Choir and signed by members of our American Sign Language Club.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd please ask for you to remain standing. To welcome you to this afternoon's commencement ceremony, on behalf of the class of 2019, please welcome our senior class president, Paulina Nunez Rojo.
Please pause for a moment of silence. You may be seated. Welcome, class of 2019, to the beginning of the rest of your lives. Welcome, teachers, family members, and friends, for today all of your work pays off. On behalf of my class, we thank you for all your support. We truly owe you for all that we are. Today, you are remembering all the moments and steps it took us to get here, all the growth we've had to develop and challenges we've had to face. Today, we celebrate. This is the moment you realize we did it. And parents, in this very moment, you ask yourselves, where did the years go by? To you, just yesterday we were off to kindergarten, but would you look at us now? Together, this is the moment we all thought would never come, even in a million years, or so it felt. But the moment is here, and the time is now. With that, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this ceremony for the class of 2019. It was an honor to be a part of this unforgettable journey with you. You are the class of 2019 from the Peoria High School. Thank you.
And now to welcome you in Spanish with our traditional bienvenidos, please welcome Senior Jocelyn Ornelas.
Hola, bienvenidos familia, amigos, miembros de la facultad y el consejo escolar de Peoria High School a la ceremonia de graduación de la clase 2019. Mi nombre es Jocelyn Ornelas Sánchez y me siento muy orgullosa de presentar esta clase a ustedes. Les agradecemos a nuestros padres y nuestros maestros por el apoyo de estos últimos 4 años, que han sido los mejores de nuestras vidas y han impactado el futuro de todos mis compañeros alumnos de esta clase. Muchas gracias por venir a celebrar esta noche muy especial, porque hoy marca el final de una etapa y el comienzo de un nuevo camino. Pero siempre llevaremos a Peoria High School en el corazón. Siempre seremos Panthers.
Our first musical interlude of the afternoon comes to us from the Peoria Concert Band, featuring senior band members. This song was selected by the band, their graduating seniors, and will be conducted by Peoria senior student conductor Dominic Gossett. Please enjoy the performance of English Folk Song Suite, Movement 1 by Ralph Vaughan Williams. Thank you, Dominic, and the PHS Concert Band. The history of wearing ceremonial regalia dates back to the 12th and 13th centuries. Many of our students are continuing that tradition, wearing a variety of regalia with their graduation gowns today. To describe the student honors that they're wearing today, please welcome PHS Assistant Principal, Mrs. Cedrica Hester.
Good afternoon. At this time, we would like to recognize the graduating seniors who are adorned with cords, ribbons, tassels, sashes, and medals. Seniors who participated in academic clubs and activities are wearing the following cords and sashes. Please stand and hold your applause until all colors are recognized. Yellow, green, white cord, top 1%. Please stand, students. Thank you. Yellow, green cord, top 5%. Please stand. Green, white cord, top 10%. Please stand. You can be seated. White sash, National Honor Society. Please stand. Red, white, blue ribbon with medal, academic scholar. Blue, yellow tassel, NHS officers. Please applaud these students for their academic honors. Clubs and activities. You can be seated. Gold sash, FFA. Thank you. White cord, JAG. Red, white, and blue, ASL Honor Society. Royal blue, yellow stole, AVID. Blue silver cord, Air Force Junior ROTC. Green gold cords with yellow sash, Student Council. White with red lettering stoles, Leadership and Yearbook Publication. Red, white cords, Yearbook Publication. Blue, white cords, DECA National Participants. White sash, MESA. Black sash, 4-year varsity athletes. Please applaud these students for their involvement in clubs and activities. Thank you.
With our first student address of the afternoon, please welcome Peoria High School honor student, senior Gila Zabir.
Our time has come. This afternoon, I welcome each of our families, friends, and younger siblings who are already asking, how much longer? Thank you to everyone for joining us today as we recognize the outstanding accomplishments of each member of the class of 2019. I'm Gilles Sabir, a fellow graduate, and I'm happy to say that this class has left their mark with their depth of character, stunning credentials, and pride. I would like to utilize this moment to thank all our teachers and counselors who are sitting among us, who have been the epitome of strength and great pillar of support. Thank you for seeing the potential in each of us students who have walked through your door, even if we did not recognize our own gifts. You are the ones who inspire in hopes of strengthening the future of our nation. And to our family members who have been here for us every day prior, nurturing and encouraging our ambitions, such contributions does not go unnoticed. Peoria High School has also given us the opportunity in finding our purpose. Through the worst and best experiences here at Peoria, we've gained an inspiration to chase a life in which we will each be proud to live. We have all heard the saying, know your why, from the announcements to the intercom whenever Mr. Bauer has had the chance to enlighten us. Why are you a Panther? Why are you here? Without knowing, this has instilled the values of looking at the bigger picture and the meaning behind being a Panther.
Such made me realize that this journey of asking questions, of exploration, is as important as where we end up. Now, seniors, while each one of us hold a unique experience from Peoria, we met in our arrival about 4 years ago. It seems only yesterday where we experienced our first lip dub, the rush of adrenaline on game days, especially against the Cobras, listening to Mr. Hill's cactus story every year, and coming together as a family at the exhilarating assemblies, jamming to our top-notch band. Now, we stand on the threshold of real life, leaving behind a legacy, a bequest of devotion, victory, and harmony. The home of the Panthers is now the home of tomorrow's doctors, lawyers, CEOs, dancers, musicians, and so much more. I'm certain that many of us are anxious about starting the next chapter, but like many books, we cannot skip through the pages of life, but rather drift into them. Through the variety of clubs and sports, we were taught to have a passion and use the capacity of our minds, as it molded us into the aspiring students we are today. We will teach the world what it means to be a Panther, because we will always at heart be Panthers. Now here's my advice. Wherever you may find yourself, whatever challenge you have selected to follow and discover, hold true to what shaped your yesterdays. Recognize and appreciate what you are today, and dare to be all that you can be tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, Peoria's graduating class of 2019.
Also speaking on behalf of the class of 2019, please welcome to the stage Senior Class Vice President Trinity Garcia.
I'd like to begin this speech by thanking all friends, family, and teachers that have made this possible for us on the behalf of the class of 2019. And to address the class of 2019, I have one question. Why did you go to school? Of course it's the law and your mom said so, but why were you driven to pass that class? And why did we stress out so much over that test? The answer is simple. We fear failure. Almost every one of you here fears not being successful when we grow up. Personally, I drove myself crazy a couple months ago not knowing what I wanted to be when I grow up. The term "when I grow up" is actually so complicated. Does it imply age, wisdom? Who knows? But it sounds like a run-on sentence that never ends, because who knows when your future will begin. Some of us have already began working in the field we want to build a career with, and some of us still have no clue. So when I grow up really holds no meaning. But I know we're all scared of when we grow up. We're all scared of that transition into the real world. We're all terrified at the thought of ourselves in these very cap and gowns we're dressed in today. And as fear does, it invokes people to quit. And from this day on, I hope the only thing you all quit is letting your fears get in the way. Quit being afraid of change. Quit second-guessing every decision you make, because when I grow up is now, and it is time to start our lives. So don't give a 2-week notice. Don't leave a letter of resignation. It's been approximately 13 years of education, and it's time for us to quit fearing and move on to better things. As we move on, I hope you are not driven to follow a path, because paths aren't for leaders. Paths are the easy way out. Paths aren't new. I hope you wander off the path a little bit, find new routes and new beginnings, follow no path, and leave a trail. When I grow up is no longer a term we are dreading or looking forward to. It is now. We're transitioning into the point we've all been anticipating, this very moment. All our hard work and hope of making it to this moment has finally paid off. We're surrounded by our extremely proud friends and family in one big congratulatory ceremony of finally making it to when we grow up. But don't get me wrong, we still have a lot of growing up to do. We still have plenty of experiences waiting for us and many lessons yet to be learned. While you all create your new trails, I hope you never forget what it took to get to this very moment. What it took to finally reach when I grow up. Never forget the exciting days and the adventurous nights. Never forget the people you met and the risks you took. As we grow up, don't forget these faces. Look around and see all the people that were there to grow with you. Remember all the faces you saw grow into amazing young individuals, but strive to keep growing. Strive to live the future you and your friends fantasized about at the lunch tables, and strive to continue growing because you've already grown up. To lead to the conclusion of this way too long speech, on behalf of the class of 2019, I'll miss you. I'll miss seeing you in the halls. I'll miss the adventures and the memories because as time flies by, it's time we'll never get back. And we won't get another homecoming or prom or get stopped by George again. We won't have another battle of the classes or jam out on school buses again. And we won't hear Mi'i as we walk into class again. Finally, after all these years of stress, all-nighters, and even tears, destiny is in your grasp. Once we walk out these doors, it will be in your hands, and tomorrow it is up to you to shape it.
For our second musical piece of the afternoon, we hear from our PHS choir, featuring the senior members of the choir. They'll be singing a song dedicated to the members of our senior class, Stand By Me by Benny King.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see.
No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me.
So darling, darling, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountains should crumble to the sea.
I won't cry. I won't cry. No, I won't shed a tear. Just as long as you stand by me.
So darling, darling, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Stand by me. Stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Stand by me. Ooh. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me.
Continuing to describe the honors earned by our senior class, represented by the regalia they're wearing, please welcome back to the stage Mrs. Cedrica Hester.
Now we would like to recognize seniors who participated in CTE as well as program completers are wearing the following cords and medallion. Black Silver Medallion, State Mastery of Subject Area Tests. Please stand. Thank you. Red, black cord, sports medicine athletic trainers. Thank you. Orange cord, CTE program completers. Orange white cord, culinary. Please applaud these students for their involvement in CTE. Seniors who have committed to entering the military, please stand. Thank you for your commitment to serving our country. Seniors who participated in performing arts programs are wearing the following cords: pink cord, band. Thank you. Purple, green, choir. Thank you. Pink and black, National Dance Honor Society. Thank you. Blue stoles, yellow and gold cords, the International Thespian Society. Please stand. Thank you. Please applaud these students for their involvement in our performing arts program. Thank you.
Presenting our final student address of the afternoon from the class of 2019, please welcome to the stage Ms. Genesis Coronado Gonzalez.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the graduation of the class of 2019. My name is Genesis Coronado, but most people at Peoria know me as Gigi. It is an honor to be here in front of you all in this grand stadium to represent the graduating class of 2019. To my fellow classmates, I congratulate all of us, for this is considered one of the biggest milestones of our adolescence. I remember coming into high school intimidated and ready to just get it over with. I'm sure I wasn't the only one with this mentality. But now, seeing where I am today and where we all are, I could not be any more proud of us, for what we thought was going to last a lifetime is finally over, and this is just the beginning. As individuals, we know that there were times during these past 4 years where we just couldn't get out of bed, we didn't see the point, or many other reasons. Personally, I know during my years at Peoria, I encountered many obstacles in which I believed were impossible to overcome. But with the help of such an amazing staff who supported me, not only through academic struggles, but as well as personal ones, they provided me with something not easily obtained: trust. Before, I never comprehended why anyone would want to be a teacher. I heard the pay isn't exceptional, the meetings are frustrating, the vacations can never be as long as one truly desires, and more. Then, one day, I reached out to a teacher because I was struggling in their math class. We made a plan, and I stayed every single day after school to work on my math homework. I ended up passing the class, which made me so happy and gave me such relief. Without this teacher's motivation and faith in me, I would have failed. That teacher is who I believe made one of the biggest impacts on my life, and I don't believe I'm the only one. There are many more teachers like this at Peoria who we have made connections with and who have helped us all learn to trust a little bit more. We are grateful to have come into contact with these teachers, and we know when future Panthers approach them, these teachers will too guide them in the right direction. I used to think the saying PHS tatted on my chest was silly and childish to even be saying, for how could one become so attached to a silly old school? But boy was I wrong, because after these long 4 years, I realized this will be one of the hardest goodbyes I will ever make. It will be hard to say goodbye to all the memories here, such as hiding from George when we didn't have our IDs on, all the PB&Js made in Holgates, the racing to get into school before Brian closes the front gate, not to forget the football games, the green and gold Fridays, the spirit weeks, the lip dub, and the excitement for prom, all of it. For these 4 years, we have the guidance of teachers, families, friends, etc. They've held our hand throughout the whole way, but it's time to let go and start something new. Our story at Peoria has come to an end, but the best is yet to come, and I wish us all the best. Never forget, once a Panther, always a Panther. Thank you.
This senior class has definitely left their mark as Panthers during their time here at Peoria High. Here now to present to you the class of 2019, we welcome the head of our Panther family, Principal Mr. Paul Bauer.
Welcome, class of 2019 and guests to the graduation of the first and best high school in the Peoria Unified School District, the Peoria High School. At this time, I'd like to recognize some distinguished guests that have joined us this afternoon. Peoria Governing Board members, Mrs. Judy Doan, and Board President, Ms. Monica Ceja Martinez, if you would stand to be recognized. Peoria Superintendent, Mrs. Linda Pallas Thompson. And District Administrators, Mr. Steve Savoy, Dr. Carter Davison, and Ms. Chris Lopez Lira. I'd especially like to recognize Mr. Steve Savoy for providing outstanding leadership for our district and community. Steve has served in our district as a teacher, a coach, principal, and district leader for over 3 decades. Some of his service was on our campus back in the day. Steve, thank you for your service and dedication. You will be missed. And on behalf of the student body, I have a little gift for you from Peoria's First and Best. I'd like to formally recognize Mrs. Willoughby and our assistant principals, Mr. Myers, Mrs. Hester, and Mrs. McCullum, who have worked tireless behind the scenes to make sure that today's ceremony goes off without a hitch. This is Mrs. McCullum's first graduation as our coordinator, and she's done an outstanding job. The same goes for our guidance department, who burned the midnight oil, making sure some of you have completed that senior paper or some other academic requirements so that you could walk across the stage today. What a year it's been. We've seen victories on the athletic fields and courts. We've high-stepped our way into the state playoffs in a number of sports, some for the first time in many, many years. And quite a few individuals received state athletic honors in a variety of athletic competitions. In our Performing Arts Center, we've witnessed outstanding musicals like The Little Mermaid, dance and theater performances. For the first time, our media and theater students collaborated on many outstanding productions, resulting in a great evening performance several weeks ago. Our band and choir continues to receive numerous state awards, with marching band being recognized as one of the best bands in the state. We've achieved awards and recognition for our artwork, our MESA projects, and our CTE teams. Media earned top honors at the state this year, and DECA and FFA traveled for national competitions again. We've fed and clothed the hungry, and we've literally shared our blood, with Peoria High School being named the top high school in the state for blood drives this school year. We've worked with the city to redo their plants around City Hall, in addition to numerous other projects throughout the city of Peoria. Our students have been recognized for their public service by the Rotary Club, and Peoria continues to be the only school to be visited by several world leaders, ambassadors, and other foreign dignitaries. These leaders came to our school and talked with our students about service and leadership on the world stage. Several of our students were invited to the State House to meet behind the scenes with other leaders and received a tour of both houses. I am proud of your accomplishments, but I am honored and proud to have known you as fine young men and women. Graduates, although today is about you, we'd like to take a moment and thank and recognize your families. We'd like to thank them for trusting us with their most valuable resource, you. High school is not always easy, but the love and support of your parents and families have provided and helped you become model citizens and great Panthers. One of the great things about Peoria High School is the wonderful traditions that have developed over nearly a century of educating students in the Northwest Valley. At this time, we'd like to recognize some graduates and their families who have had multiple family members graduate from Peoria High School. Please stand when your names are called, and please hold your applause until all the names are announced. Let's start with 3 family members: Joey Alcantar, Azula Amarudin, Taja Beasley, Jamie Beery, Ashley Camargo Aguirre, Cassandra Farnsley, Jessica Gonzalez, Yaratizi Gonzalez, Brianna Graham Markley, Abraham Enikis, Adib Ishtui, Cheyenne Mayer, Rebecca Maldonado, Brianna Markley, Jeffrey Moreno Jr., Brianna Napolis, Jeremiah Olabariri, Sophia Padilla Sebastian, Isabella Rojas, and Jonathan Vargas. Those are 3 family members graduating from Peoria. Thank you. You may be seated. 4 family members: Juanita Gutierrez, Ben Toon, Cameron Ortega, Vanessa Rivera, Isabella Quintero, Mulika Spears. Thank you. You may be seated. 5 family members: Daylin Reyes. We'll talk more about her in a moment. She's over there. And then 7 family members: Isabella Castro, Kaylee Frame, oh yeah, and her brother Gage. He purposely left her out of that, so she came up and reminded me. Of these names, it's interesting to note that we have several families of our graduates who have graduated over 50 years ago. Jeremiah Olabera's grandfather can't be with us today due to a bad hip, but Joey Olabera graduated in 1967. 1 year later, Isabella Quintero's grandfather, Robert Ramirez, graduated from Peoria in 1968. And graduating in 1971 was Daylin's grandfather, Angel Cota. Another interesting point about that family is Mr. Cota's mother, Carmen Gradillas, who has since passed away, graduated from Peoria in 1932. In looking through our records, we still have her report card. So Daylin will include her report card with your diploma. Family members, would you please stand and be recognized if I talked about you just now? Thank you for your faith and trust in Peoria High School. Students and families, I'd like to take a moment to recognize your teachers. They've laughed with you, cried with you, cheered you, scolded you, counseled, and celebrated you. They've helped you realize that school is so much more than quadratic equations and Beowulf, discussions in econ about free lunch, and exercising your free religion. They serve not only as teachers, but coaches, sponsors, and advisors, and they take a stand daily for all of you, for your families, for our communities, and most importantly, the state of Arizona. They've helped you to begin to realize your unlimited potential. They are emotionally invested in your success and hold themselves and you to the highest standards. They see the future every day when you walk into their classrooms and onto our campus. They see the future in your eyes, your hearts, your minds, and they work ceaselessly with you in and out of the classroom. We have several staff members who will be moving on to new opportunities this summer and in our district and across the country, including retiring dance teacher Mrs. Jamie McQueen, Mrs. Rebecca Allen, Mrs. Beth Carricker, Mr. Jim Mallon, Mr. Wade Myers, and Mrs. Kelly Wilson. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank them for their commitment, dedication, and service to Peoria. Peoria High and the city of Peoria and the Northwest Valley is a better place because of your efforts. Thank you. Now, some more about you, class of 2019. Under the leadership of Cindy Allward, Amy Merrifield, and our guidance department, last week we honored a number of students who have received scholarships and awards. Over $11 million has been awarded to the class of 2019. That is double, over double last year. Well done. Almost $2 million of that goes to our AVID seniors, those folks with the blue stoles. Great job, AVID seniors. If you've received an award or a scholarship, would you please stand and be recognized? $11 million standing right in front of you. Thank you. You may be seated. You may find it interesting that 87% of you are going on to post-secondary school. 6% of you will be serving our country, and 7% will go right into the workforce. Many of these students receive scholarships based on their academic achievement. If you are in the top 10%, would you please stand and be recognized? Well done. If you are in the top 5%, please stand and be recognized. And finally, I'd like to name the graduating seniors who are in the top 1% of their class. Please stand when I call your name. Italia Williams. One of our speakers, Gilia Zabir. And longtime Peoria folk, Isabella Quintero. Well done. We are proud of you and of your accomplishments. I know that you will go on to accomplish great things. You may be seated. During a speech in 1962, President Kennedy remarked, "We choose to go to the moon." We chose to go to the moon in this decade and to do other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because the goal to serve and organize and measure the best of our energies and skills, because that challenge is a challenge we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win. In late July, before you reported to school, teachers and staff gathered to prepare for a new school year. During this time, we learned about Katherine Johnson, Octavia Spencer, and Dorothy Vaughan, whose contributions helped ensure that the first person to step foot on the moon was an American. These ladies were hired as human computers. This was a time before calculators, before computers, and yes, even before cell phones. They utilized their intellect and work ethic to solve complex and difficult calculations, all by hand without a calculator. Where an incorrect calculation did not result in a poor grade on a test or quiz, but the loss of millions of dollars of a space capsule perhaps, or the life of a crew member. They had to think critically and creatively to invent new math systems to solve the physics of this world and out of this world. Perhaps a more difficult challenge to overcome was the prejudice and discriminations they endured both as a woman and as an African-American citizen in segregated America during the 1960s. They were forced to use different restrooms in other parts of the campus of the NASA complex, eat in different areas, and be subjected to different dress codes. The movie is chronicled, their story is chronicled in the story called Hidden Figures, the movie that was recently released. It goes on to detail many other hurtful and discriminatory practices that were initiated against these women, and some of the things they faced. More importantly, though, how they overcame these obstacles, both mathematically, scientifically, and in our society, to ensure success for all. So that on July 20th, 1969, 7 years after President Kennedy gave his speech about not taking the easy way out, Neil Armstrong could step foot on the moon for all. Not just for NASA, not just for our country, but for all humankind. Just as the ladies working for NASA in the 1960s had to overcome tremendous obstacles and hardships, you too will have to overcome. Some of you have already overcome mighty obstacles already. You too will have to persevere. You too will have to invent. You too will have to think creatively and critically. You might have to do math. As I mentioned to you during senior checkout, graduation is not an end. You heard several of our speakers talk about that as well. Rather, it's a beginning. It's a time to set goals, to work diligently, and to achieve these goals. Graduation should not be an end, but a beginning to see beyond our earth-based boundaries. Boundaries in science, in math, and perhaps most importantly in our own society. Boundaries beyond self. Go beyond these boundaries to see what you can do for others. Like Neil Armstrong's first small step on the moon in late 1969, graduation should not be an end, but a beginning of a long hike, a run, or a leap for all mankind. Graduation is not an end, it's a beginning. It's a time for a choice. Choose. Choose to do the other things that Kennedy talked about, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Choose the hard way. Mrs. Pallas Thompson, Ms. Martinez, and Mrs. Doan, please join me at the podium. Actually, I guess we just need Mrs. Doan. And now, with pride and pleasure, as principal of the Peoria High School, I certify that each of these students has met the requirements for graduation as set forth by the state of Arizona and the Peoria Unified School District. I present this class to you as a representative of the Peoria Unified Governing Board. Mrs. Doan, I respectfully request that you accept these graduates and that you confer diplomas on them.
On behalf of the governing board of the Peoria Unified School District and by the authority vested in me by the state of Arizona, I accept this recommendation that the Peoria High School class of 2019 has met the requirements for graduation. Mr. Bauer, please present the graduates to receive their diplomas.
All right. That was good. You stood up on the right word, but it's when I say the word. All right, everybody ready now? Everybody got their cue? All right. Graduates, please come forward to receive your diplomas.
As the graduates come forward, just a note to family members, photos of your graduates receiving their diplomas will be taken today by Life Touch Photography. Information on ordering these photos will be available in the packets the students receive on the way out the stadium.
Elijah Alejandro Almanza.
Harrison Edward Aaron.
Giovanna Barrios Fernandez.
Gabriel Seth Marcelino Castillo.
Kiara Antonella Alamada Castellanos.
Anthony Alexander De La Rosa.
Litzy Sanchez Amador.
Omar Mohammed Awada.
Raymond Garza Amaya.
Isaac Christopher Ackerman.
Azizula Amirudin.
Trinity Gabrielle Acosta.
Elisette Angelica Abolila.
Juan Carlos Zuniga Adame.
Gianna Danielle Arden.
Abigail Kylie Adams.
Tatiana Aronoff.
Allison Naomi Adolph.
Pedro Juan Eugenio Anastasio.
Barbethi Mato Adu.
Julian Benuelos Nangare.
Amaya Gabriel Aniga.
Alexis Monet Visa Barrera.
Emmanuel Aguirre.
Candace Kira Elizabeth Bean.
Karen Mireya Aguirre.
Cassidy Torres.
Dakari Alberti.
Christian Dean Begay.
Joey Art Alcantar.
Jada Renee Bennett.
Nia Jean Alexander.
Jamie Rain Berry.
Ali Razak Al-Jazari.
Rochelle Patrine Bignelli.
Genesis Gardenia Coronado Gonzalez.
Trinity Renee Garcia.
Gila Lashkri Sabir.
Jocelyn Jeanette Ornelas.
Paulina Jocelyn Núñez Rojo.
David Isaiah Garcia.
Juan Carlos Hernández.
Eric Devin Cahey.
Leila Marie Horgan.
Victoria Angelis Carranza.
Ashley Nicole Lucas.
Hunter Allen Cassidy.
Dominic James Gossett.
Isabel Amelia Castro.
Sadie Lee Bonner.
Luis Armando Castro Mitchell.
Corbin Michael Bonson.
Analicia Raquel Salaya.
Dominique Michelle Brody.
Italia Dean Williams.
Javon Sincere Brooks.
Yirathan Tess Tran.
Chance Carol Brown.
Apostle Paul John Chavez.
Jalen Daniel Brown.
Everardo Chavez.
Caleb Jaden Brown.
Victoria Elizabeth Kogar.
Kiara Marie Brown Wallace.
Vincent Anthony Coker.
Julian Yael Buenrostro Lopez.
Harley Jewel Colfack.
Gabriel Rene Calzada.
Alyssa Danielle Collins.
Ashley Comargo Agüero.
Cameron Anthony Cordero.
Daniela Caitlin Kamek.
Asia Tiva Ann Cornsweet.
Coriana Brene Cannon.
Isabel Gabriela Cortez.
Cielo Karina Cardiel.
Cynthia Elizabeth Covarubio.
Nicholas Maximus Cornelia.
Deontay Lamar Covington.
Jose Zavala Vasquez.
Veronica Rose Lapotko.
Cheyenne Marie Meyer.
Serena Hannah Mahuse Rapunta.
Ashley Jean McAnally.
Ethan Mitchell DeMayo.
Lane Michael Johnson.
Trinity Corinne Devojek.
Christian Leanne Coxon.
Tyler Reese Ibat.
Angelique Alexis Cruz.
JD Enriquez Jr.
Andrea Cruz Robles.
Abel Fernando Escalante.
Brandon Iseas Cuevas.
Daisy Espinosa.
Erika de la Rosa.
Cassandra Nicole Farnsley.
Jonathan Dees.
Daniel Favela.
Ayu Deng.
Will O'Neill Favela.
Larissa Monique Dennis.
Marcos Antonio Felix Jr.
Alina Jasmine Diaz.
Mirella Reina Felix.
Cesar Joaquin Diaz.
Leslie Abigail Valenzuela.
Felix Diaz.
Matthew Antonio Torres.
Gerardo Diaz Juarez.
Callie Nicole Frame.
Ariana Mori Dominguez.
Robert Gage Frame.
Samantha Dorame.
Sean Patrick Gila Franco.
Jordan Mackenzie Downs.
Abby Rose Zondlo.
Connor Sean Duncan.
Ray Stephen Zambrano Jr.
Trinity LaRue Dupre.
Moses Emmanuel Santiago.
Kylie Nicole Norlin.
Noah Allen Scales.
Isaiah Antonio Ortiz.
Vanessa Lynn Wright.
Ryan Michael Leff.
Yaretzi Gonzalez.
Mackenzie Irene Fulton.
Marilyn Jeanette Gonzalez Tamayo.
Vanessa Galinaro.
Angel Sebastian Gracia.
Alexandra Marie Castro Garcia.
Luis Alejandro Gracia Flores.
Jasmine Monique Garcia.
Brianne Lee Gragert.
Massimo Socio Garcia.
Brianna Nicole Graham Markley.
Montserrat del Carmen Garcia Sanchez.
Daphne Granados Barcenas.
Jacob Charles Gibson.
Brianna Marie Greeley.
Gage Dale Jensen Gifford.
Erica Renee Groom.
Shane Harold Montgomery Jilks.
Eduardo Jr. Gudino Aguilar.
Deja Chanel Gilmore Lewis.
Juan Isaiah Gutierrez.
Jacob Golden.
Juanita Gutierrez.
Jesse Valdez III.
Jesus Guzman Arriaga.
Christopher Ray Gonzalez.
Sylvia Lee Hall.
Jessica Gonzalez.
Cherish Elizabeth Marie Harbin Dominguez.
Isaiah Jairo Gonzalez.
Jaden Lee Hardy.
Victoria Zavala.
Gabriella Lynn Harper.
Jose Dominic Gonzalez.
Bianca Caitlin Jackson.
Ezra Ramirez.
Nicholas Preston James.
Dalen Carissa Reyes.
Jada Charisma Nicole Jasper.
Eric Maurice Harris.
Jose Esteban Jasso Jasso.
Sean Symetra Haygood II.
Austin Jimenez.
Tiffany Nicole Het.
Lisa Sarah Jimenez.
Justin Anthony Hernandez.
Maylene Diaz Jimenez.
Omar Hernandez Lucatero.
Keith Wayne Johnson Jr.
Belen Galilea Hernandez Martinez.
Michael Edward Johnson III.
Tia Laria Herrera.
John Jones.
Sydney Michaela Perales.
McKenna Kierlin Kochiemba.
Hector Hansu Hirata Fukui.
Sierra Kay.
Mary Margaret Hopkins.
Caitlin Marie Larson.
Kelly Renee June Horton.
Desiree Christina Lechuga.
Andre James Howard.
Anthony Leone.
Ethan Taylor Howard.
Emiliano David Leva.
Darren Ated Diene Hughes.
Vincent Pedro Lira.
Sarah Kathleen Hunt.
Lorena Lizaraga.
Alyssa Marie Husky Ibarra.
Sarah Elizabeth Locasio.
Abraham Iniguez.
Eileen Lopez.
Adib Basim Ishtewi.
Gadisa Bonso Miso.
James Robert Rivera II.
Gabriel Lee Mejia.
Dustin James Sloan.
Evelyn Juanita Mendez Silva.
Vivica Alexandra Lopez.
Ayana Joe Mendoza.
Nathan Lozano.
Dranreb Mercado.
Anaya Simone Mack.
Kelsey Michelle Minor.
Madison Pearl Madonia.
Jessica Jordan Moeller.
Rebecca Yanai Maldonado.
Martha Alicia Montes.
Diana Mansour.
Freya Veronica Mora.
Brenna Markley.
Denise Alejandra Morales.
Sebastian Marquez.
Nancy Morales.
Shane Sean Marshall.
Melissa Morales Medrigal.
Alexis Yvette Martinez.
Jeffrey Dion Moreno Jr.
Delilah Joanne Martinez.
Khalil Azim Muhammad.
Josue David Martinez.
Caitlin Marie Mullinex.
Rachel Trinity Martinez.
David Emeraldo Roy Rios Mullinex.
Leah Janae Matekas.
Adrian Jessel Mungia.
Grace Elizabeth McLam.
Bryce Austin Musgrave.
Balin Mikkel McManaman.
Brianna Espinosa Napoles.
Jade Elizabeth McMillan.
Rami Kamal Nasser.
Victoria Noel McNeil.
Analita Alexis Ariel Ortiz.
Jose Enrique Solano.
Connor Octavian Orion Ortiz.
Brianna Antoinette Stanley.
Sofia Padilla Sebastian.
Gage Anthony William Neal.
Daisy Arlen Palacio.
Lance Leon Tucker.
Damian Robert Parra Jr.
Christian Tamil Newburn.
Ariel Patricio Romero.
Diem Nguyen.
Evelyn Pedraza.
John Hugh Nguyen.
Angeles Mahanaim Perez Hernandez.
Jacqueline Baldes.
Priscilla Monique Pignon.
Skylar Rain Nichols.
Miranda Marie Pinson.
Nisaj Sincere Nicholas.
Malachi James Lacroix Poti.
Troy Paris Nolan.
John Charles Price.
Samantha Evelyn Rose Norberg.
Jawan Jahi Price.
Alyssa Yvette Nunez.
Carlos Gabriel Quinones.
Jeremiah Julian Olivara.
Isabella Marie Quintero.
Ileana Guadalupe Olivas.
Eliana Ray Quiroz.
Litsi Olalas Olmedo Tapia.
Dakota Isabel Raffaelli.
Jerome Ivan Orozco.
Leila Inez Raffaelli.
Bradley Michael Ortega.
Alfredo Raymond Ramirez.
Marissa Ortega.
Litzy Eileen Ramirez Mariscal.
Kevin Rafael Ortega Peña.
Juliana Victoria Alana Ruiz.
Benjamin George Toon.
Maria Paola Ruiz Barachi.
Danny Efrain Valdez.
Paulina Guadalupe Ruiz Badachi.
Michael Robert Rangel.
Ana Gabriela Ruiz Palafox.
Las Karim Rashid.
Noah Edward Reichel.
Judith Ria Ramirez.
Daniel Reyes Sanchez Jr.
Jonathan Raul Reyes.
Aaron Andre Sandoval Babuca.
Casey Robert Rice.
Edwin Santabanez Vasquez.
Parker William Richardson.
Xavier Michael Sapien.
Dylan David Riola.
Khadijah Suez.
Vanessa Michelle Rivera.
Addison X. Sears.
Lucio Robles Lugo.
Omar Edwin Segovia Soler.
Dana Itzel Robles Soto.
Oscar Ruben Sepulveda Jr.
Caitlin Isabel Rodriguez.
Jaden David Schellenberger.
Giovanni Rojas.
Riley Rayanne Sherrill.
Isabella Rojo.
David Yoel Scholl.
Isaiah Anthony Michael Romero.
Cameron Gabriel Singh.
Isaac Daniel Romero.
Caleb Matthew Skolmowski.
Cody Thomas Romero.
Alexa Ray Soto.
Emily Crystal Rose.
Malika Alexandria Spears.
Olasia Marie Roybal.
Jonathan Guadalupe Vargas.
Adam Jacob Spiller.
Vanessa Marie Vasquez Aguero.
Connor Steffes.
Braulio Ariel Vasquez Perez.
Vanessa Castillo Sublet.
Gage Ronald Yoakum.
Ariane Alexis Taylor.
Angelica Villalobos Esquivel.
Caitlin Bell Taylor.
Samira Villarreal.
Kaylee Brianna Reyes.
Jerem Noah Wallace.
Teresa Ty.
Eliza Deshawn Tion Washington.
Callista Rain Toma.
Kaylee Chi Xiong.
Renee Juliana Tinney.
Taylor Renee White.
Kenneth Toe.
Lance Ryan Uptain.
Trinity Ann Toogood.
Alex James Whittington.
Taija Adriana Beasley.
Canyon Cherokee Woody.
Cameron J. Torres.
Rihanna Celine Williams. Zykel Amani Luther Woodard.
Family members, you can meet your graduates at gate 3. That's the same gate that you came in at. Graduates, please move your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present to you Peoria High School's graduating class of 2019.
On behalf of the staff and students at Peoria High